Welcome to Battered and Proud. We are a college football podcast for college football geniuses, and we are battered and proud. Most of us are battered. Today, we actually lost two of our battered people because they need time off, is what they said. And now we have two more battered people. So, first off, we've got the A&M battered person, Tony Eckerman. He's class of 2006. Wouldn't you say you're battered or what?
So after Saturday, I was extremely battered for several days. I slowly climbed out of the batteredness valley, and I'm after Sunday. The volleyball team won, so there's a little bit of proudness, right?
Soul for a soul. Yeah.
I shouldn't say a little bit. That those girls, that what they did this year, that was pretty amazing. We watched Izzy and I watched the Nebraska game together. I mean, to go to Nebraska and win that game and that gymnasium. I mean, that was just amazing.
That was essentially the national championship. I think
Those
that game
girls
was. Yeah.
deserve every bit of recognition, and they've got more coming. So the volleyball team kind of redeemed us a little bit this year, but still, I'm still a little slowly climbing back out of the battered valley, but we'll get there.
Okay. And you're also excited about the wool judging.
The wool judging team did very
Yeah.
well. The
Mm-hmm.
meat judging team did very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we also have a battered person, and he is battered and especially battered because he is an OU fan. So we have Bruce White. Also, he's one of our sponsors. He pays big money for this podcast.
Yeah, and I think I was more despondent than battered, but and I think, of course, y'all sounded upset when I talked to y'all on the phone after the y'all's game Saturday. I was kind of in the dumps, but and Izzy and I, you've talked about this. Oklahoma, we're a gymnastics school, girls softball. Y'all are a volleyball school. We're going to hang our hats on that for now.
We're volleyball and wool judging.
Wool
Well,
judging. I'm
wait,
sorry.
you forgot about indoor track.
Indoor track. That's another one.
Yeah,
I
which
think we're I think we're overemphasizing football here.
earlier Evan said, "What's the difference between indoor track and outdoor track?" And Bucky said, one's indoor and one's outdoor, you moron." Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah. It was pretty hilarious when he said that. And Evan, I mean, anyway, I told Evan the track like slants up and okay, moving on. So, let's talk about the games last week, unfortunately. The first game I watched, unfortunately, was the OU and Alabama game. And I picked OU, Bruce. And I
Yeah.
watched that game and I peacocked around my house during the first quarter. I was like, I told you guys. I'm the freaking know-all of football, and I picked OU, and they are going to kill it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like such a long time ago. And I really thought, that Oklahoma had an advantage because they didn't have to play in the championship game. I thought they gave them an extra time to prepare. It looked like they were ready to go. Material looked pretty good early, and man, they had like two or three bad things happen in a row. And one of them, Mateer, he scrambles around there, and it looks like he takes off and runs. He's going to gain 15 yards in a first down, and he throws it. Well, it's a good throw. The guy drops the ball. It's a running back, so but he drops the ball. Then next play, the punter decides to drop the ball when he's trying to punt it, and man, all heck broke loose after that. And
The
they never
punter,
could
it
right the
really
ship.
was. It was after that. Well, okay, wait.
Yeah, that
Wasn't
whole
there
sequence,
like,
that was right there together.
I also feel like there was a personal foul. Wasn't there a personal foul? And I looked over and I go, I hope this is not the beginning. It was some kind of foul.
Yeah, we had a defender knock somebody out of bounds, and Venables jumped him pretty good as he came on the sidelines.
It
It didn't look
wasn't
that
that
bad to
bad.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was called, and but it's. I just thought that one sequence, if Mature runs there, he probably gets 20 yards, 15 or 20. If the guy catches the ball, he may score.
Yeah.
And so that was bad. And then what happened with the punter? I mean,
The punter
goodness
had
gracious.
butter all over his fingers, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I've never seen
Or
anybody do that before.
that was very upsetting, Bruce. It was very
Yeah,
upsetting to me, especially me watching the game and having money on the line. That was a
yeah.
bummer.
I think a
Um,
lot of people had Money on the line.
Yeah. That was a whip. Anyway, so there was something I was going to say about the personal call. I forget what I was going to say, but I remember looking at that and think I feel like it was number 55 for some reason. I could be like completely wrong, but I remember looking over and saying, I hope this is not the beginning of the end because the coach was so mad. He was
Yeah.
so mad. And in my mind, I looked at it and I was like, I guess, it wasn't that bad of a call, but I just felt like that was the first call that was a number of penalties after that.
Yeah.
And
Well, and in fairness, and of course, I want OU to get all the good calls, and I feel like Oklahoma got a few good calls during the course of the season that went their way. You think about the Auburn game
no,
and
I don't
things
know what
like
you're
that.
talking about, Bruce.
But with that said, I really thought this game they had won, and what I always thought the big problem was, and we talked about this, is when Oklahoma gets way ahead of a really big game, an important game, they play that goofy jump around song in the fourth quarter, and everybody starts jumping around. They went and played it in the first quarter of this one, and my son and I were watching the game, and my son goes, "That's a bad call there. They shouldn't have done that yet."
Should
And
not.
sure enough, that you don't do that, and but everybody wanted to take their selfies and bouncing around, and things like that. So they
So,
had to do
Bruce,
that.
the exact same thing happened. When you said that, I was like, Bruce, you're so silly. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Tony, did you notice that not in the third or fourth quarter they played that song that we all like get hyped up for at the A&M, and you don't know what they're saying, but they're like, those hoes are
So
calling.
fortunately, most of the third and fourth quarter, I was up top because I couldn't take any more after the first
Yeah,
interception. So I
Oh,
he
had to
left.
go up there and find some fellow Ags that we kind of grouped together and
yeah.
got through the rest of the game. But yeah, I didn't catch that, but that's a good point. That song really got the crowd.
That's
More
a good
importantly, the
point.
players going. It's
Okay, do you want to move to that game or do you want to talk about
let's
let's
go ahead and
simmer.
move. Let's go ahead and move
Yeah.
to that
Y'all need to
game
move to that one now.
because
Wait, do you have anything you want to say about the OU Alabama game? Because Tony was sitting there with me. You were sitting there, we were watching that game.
yeah, it was just unfortunately OU and A&M were similar today. It's just they didn't. Both of them were perfectly capable of winning that game. I mean, they had the talent, they had the coaching, they had
Yeah.
the home field advantage. I mean, the crowd was there, and it
Yeah.
was like, the first half was like, man, OU, they got this, and
They had
it's
quarterbacks that were highly sought after and looked at for Heisman possibilities.
In the year.
exactly, yeah, it was but
And it was almost like the tables, the game was a flip flop from the first time they met when, Oklahoma first came, no yards to speak of, and they wind up winning the game because you get an interception, punt returns,
yeah,
things like that. Alabama got that this time,
yeah,
and Oklahoma had all the yards, but it didn't really amount to anything. So,
but
My have the
yeah.
turntables turned.
Yeah.
Um,
thank you, Michael Scott.
so yeah, that was a bummer. Okay, which game did you want to go to? Do you want to talk about G5s or are you gonna go right into the Miami A&M game?
No, we need to hit the Miami A&M game a little bit because that's a little more important, especially coming off the OU Alabama game. Um,
That was the next
so
game. Yeah, after OU Alabama, everyone tuned in to A&M and
yeah,
Miami,
11 o'clock in the morning.
right?
so here's my biggest problem with the A&M Miami game. Okay, we were there. You and I were sitting right next to each other. Before the game, we've got college game day happening right in front
Yeah.
of us, Bruce. I mean, it's amazing. The atmosphere, the stadium is full of maroon and white. I'm taking this all in. They're doing the field goal. Pat McAfee's doing his big show.
Yeah.
Kirk's down there holding the football, and it's just life cannot get any better. I'm like, we sing the spirit of Aggie Land. We have the flyover. We've missed a lot of flyovers because of the government shutdown this year. I'm like, Ags, we got this. Like
Ags
the
by
day
90.
cannot, we cannot, this cannot get any better. And it was just a perfect day. It was windy, but it,
Yeah.
it was just everything was just it couldn't get any better. And it's okay. Game goes on, and I'm like, okay, this is good. This is kind of what we expected. No turnovers, no turnovers. going to be tight, but unfortunately, we were the team that turned the ball over
Yeah.
more more so than the opponents.
It was too the first there was fumble.
Yeah, no, it was a fumble, and then there was two interceptions. That's three turnovers A&M had, and unfortunately, those turnovers, the ball came out of one individual's hands.
So here's my concern. I am concerned, and I love Marcel. Like I love Marcel as a person. I think he's amazing, right? Mateer is really swell as well. And they are very good people. They have good morals, they have good ethics. I love them. I'm concerned that they're not the quarterbacks for us. And I'm not saying Mateer because I thought Mateer looked a lot better. Like Mateer ran in. There was a okay, so what really slaps you in the face is when you get in front of Texas people and they argue with you and you can't
Really?
argue back with them. I'm just gonna say, like I talked to a guy this past weekend, and he used to be a Texas backup quarterback, and so he was very aware. He's aware of like how practices went. He's aware, like he kind of understands how the D1 level goes, right? And he just said like you have a quarterback problem, and I'm like, no, I don't think so. And I immediately place blame on Colin Klein because he's got
Yeah.
one foot on a banana peel and one foot at Kansas State. And he said no. Look at what he did with South Carolina. That was an amazing second half. Like that was all his play calling. I'm like, but what about the last play? He's like, well, that was one play. It had nothing to do with Marcel Reed, which he didn't even think about that, but it doesn't matter. That's my concern. I'm worried about the quarterbacks. But guess what? Like, where are they? Where are the quarterbacks? And I was
Well,
thinking about the A&M games, like in the past, like we've always fought against other A&M fans, me and Tony, because we fought against them and said there's been people around saying, what about the backup quarterback? Like they've been
Yeah.
fighting for
That always comes up.
same with Arch at Texas.
Yeah.
Like they always wanted Ewers out. They wanted Arch in. And like we saw the backup quarterback, right, Tony? Like we saw him play many times, but I don't remember his name. And we don't ever chant for him? It's time for you to talk now.
we don't, but it's back to the whole deal where um, these players they're getting paid money,
Lots of money.
lots of money. Um, as a fan, we put money into these games. There's a lots of individuals put a lot more money than you and I do into these games, and when these individuals get paid money and they're expected to perform at a level when they're put on a stage, and if they can't do that, unfortunately, they need to probably ask themselves, okay, maybe I'm not ready for D1, the playoffs. Maybe I cannot handle this. I mean, we were in Kyle Field, okay? They practice there all year long.
They play
There's
there a lot.
they play there. But this year was weird. I mean, we struggled at home some
Yeah.
games. We were undefeated, but we struggled, the South Carolina game, I mean, I went up at before halftime. I was ready to jump off the back of the stadium there.
Yeah.
Like I was in the parking lot, which car I want to hit. Because
Yeah.
what's
Should
going
we
on, and
SUV would be good.
should we talk about our sponsors? You want to do that now? Talking about like
Let me
jumping
say,
off
can I say
the
one thing about quarterbacks or no?
Yeah, absolutely, Bruce. Say it.
All right. Well, you're talking about, the money and everything. And I think schools like Oklahoma and maybe A&M and some others, you have to look at the end of each year when you evaluate everybody, you're saying, well, okay, so I'm paying this guy, whether it's a million, whatever it is you're paying him, is he really giving me what we're paying him? Do we need to give him a pay cut? Those kind of things are, kind of figure into it, I think, as well. So it's becoming more of, as much as we like these guys, it's become more of a business decision than anything
Mm-hmm.
else, because now we always thought it was a business, but now it truly is.
yeah,
And whether we like it or not, that Pandora's box has been opened.
Yeah,
Do they
And
give them a
exactly
pay
right.
cut? Is that how it works? Like, do they
well,
give
see,
them the
that's
pay?
the thing. I don't know how the financial aspects work. I don't know if you're signed up for 3 years, if it's a year contract, and then you renegotiate. I don't
Okay.
know, but that's something to
So
think about.
I was talking today and I asked Bucky, I said, man, every time I see anyone's entering the portal, I'm holding my breath, hoping it's not Craver. And Bucky said, no, he already signed on. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he goes, he already signed on. He's like the most highest paid wide receiver in the galaxy. And I'm
Oh,
like, oh my gosh, I had no, I mean,
That's
okay. I mean, that's fine.
exactly right.
He's worth every
Now
penny.
we just got to find a quarterback that can get him the ball.
So yeah, so that was another thing. And this is so Bruce, we're talking to Robert Coy, who is a Texas person, right? So you have to like kind of like take it for what it is because he's obviously a Texas person. And he just said, I but I mean like in deep down because I want to be biased, but if anyone says anything about Texas, I'm like, well, they're not very good because they wear orange, right? So, but he said, like, I just feel like if they would have kept Haynes King, they would have been so much better. And I said, Haynes King, he totally crapped the bed earlier. And he goes, did he? Or did he just not have a lot of talent around him? And I was like, oh, I can't stand people like that.
that
You know,
make you
that like,
think.
yeah, they make you think and they make you go, Is that is that true?" I
Yeah.
thought it was easy just to be like, no way, no way to Haynes
Well,
King. It doesn't matter now, though. It doesn't matter because
no,
we
it
can't
doesn't.
get
And
no.
when it gets down to it, we can't you can't always put the blame on one person. But unfortunately, when you look at the stats, I was looking at them again on my phone a while ago. I mean, A&M had this game. They had Miami beat in every single category until you got to the turnovers and the interceptions and the rushing.
It was the battle of the crappiest quarterbacks, right?
But I do want to say, the defense and the 12th man and the
Did so
fans.
good.
I mean, it was just the atmosphere at Kyle Field on Saturday was just amazing, and the
They did
defense played it
everything they
up.
could do.
Absolutely, they absolutely did, and that's why I'm wearing my. This is the only green and orange and white shirt that I see. You have a green shirt on,
Well,
Izzy,
it's Christmas time. It's actually Christmas Day, and I have
but
Santa.
Miami came in and they handled business to come into Kyle Field. Saban was talking about piping noise in. That noise was there. That noise was there on Saturday,
But they
and
didn't
for
pipe
them
it
to
in.
come in, we did not pipe it in because most of them, I still didn't get my voice back yet. I've never yelled so much in my life. But for Miami to come in and handle it and be able to score that touchdown, that was the game. And hats off to them. And every fan we saw leaving, Bruce, the fans that we saw were great. I mean, they
Yeah.
were
The
just
Miami
they
fans.
the Miami
Yeah,
fans,
I didn't
and
know they had fans. I
they
mean,
did.
really,
they had. I
I
mean,
saw them. I didn't know they
and
existed
some
though.
of them traveled
Yeah.
from Miami. We talked to them after the game because I was, high fived them. Good
Right.
game, guys. That was pretty good coming in here and taking care of business and beating us here at home.
Right.
But it's um, yeah, it's Oh, this shirt is also because our lovely daughter goes to UT Dallas.
Yeah,
Ah,
I
But
that's
don't know
nice.
what.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that should have been the first thing you said.
That should have been the very first thing.
I'm
And
still
they
hooked
don't
on
have a
the game.
football
I'm
team
still
though.
no, they don't, but they have
No,
they have
they have a chess
They
baseball,
team
do have baseball. Good baseball there.
and
soccer, lacrosse,
chess. They're
chess,
really
And
good at
how
chess, and they
about
have a
wool judging?
gaming.
Do they do wool?
No, they don't do wool judging, but they do the gaming stuff.
Gaming,
Gaming is big
esports.
now.
The
It's
esports.
huge. They have a ginormous
They give
esports
scholarships for
gym.
it, probably.
Yes, absolutely. Isn't that crazy?
It'd be
And they're
like me getting one for pinball back in the
yeah.
70s.
Yes. Yes, that it's basically the same thing. Yes, Bruce, the environment was there. 12th man did everything they could do in their power. The defense, I felt so bad for them. But we keep talking about quarterbacks, and I want to say, I just never heard, we always heard about Mateer, even though OU lost, and we never heard about, I don't feel like I ever said Ty Simpson once during the game.
Hmm. Right.
I mean, and they like I'm just like shocked by that. I mean, I guess I could be like ignorant to the fact, but I thought that like A&M was the battle of the two crappiest quarterbacks. It was terrible. And I'm nervous about
Yet they
Miami.
almost drove down the field and scored. They almost scored right there at the end, didn't they? They were so close. So
With
Almost.
close.
we were talking, I think of 2 feet would have
Yeah.
sealed the deal there, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it was close. I
But
mean,
I was listening to Marcel's post game interview, and it was interesting because those guys, they're Division 1
hmm
athletes. We're not Division 1
no,
athletes,
no,
so
not
Wait,
division.
wait,
we can
wait.
just
Hold on. Y'all
we
aren't?
can just sit up
Well,
there.
pinball.
We can just sit up there in the stands and observe and
Yeah.
say, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? Same for coaching. But
Yeah. There's a
you
lot
know,
of those.
he was talking about, his first thought was getting the ball over the linebackers because
Right.
he was talking about the Miami linebackers like to drop back. So that's first thing that goes through his mind. And it was just behind the
Yeah.
receiver, and unfortunately went right to the Miami guy. But you
Yeah.
can't do that. There was I'm not going to go on. I'm not going to get on this anymore because it's going to take a lot of time. But there was plenty. The guy's got legs. He can run.
Yeah.
We didn't run the ball. Plenty of opportunities. So um,
So is that him or the coordinator?
that I don't
That's
know.
what I
There's
want
one
to know,
play.
Bruce. That's what I want
There's
to
one
know.
play that I keep watching over and
Yeah.
over, and he had a wide open lane, but we decided to go backwards and take a sack.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, I'm not unfortunately wasn't gifted with that talent, so I can't even
Yeah.
He has
you
big
know
hands. Tony has real big hands. He could have been a receiver probably.
I used to be fast, but
Yeah,
those
but
days.
no, those days are gone,
I saw,
Bruce.
I saw you running a barrel with a hog in it one time. That was pretty good.
Yeah. He can run with a wheelbarrow and a hog.
And a hog.
Yeah. He can run that with the best of us. All right, let's talk about the stupid G5 games that Ole Miss and Oregon got to play. Did you watch those games, Bruce?
A little. I mean, there weren't really games, but yeah. Were you surprised? I mean, by anything that
I
happened?
I just really wanted it to be more of a game. You know what I mean? Like I really wanted it to be exciting because so then we can at least say, okay, the system worked. It's kind of like in the justice system, like where you're like hoping the system will work for us, you know? And yeah, it didn't. It didn't work for us. The system was wrong.
No, it's very wrong. They'll have to fix that. Yeah, it didn't. I mean, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth watching.
No, it was.
I tried to watch a little of it, then I went over to Huff's and hung out.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, I was pretty battered by the end of the day there, but
Yeah,
when I got home, I was like, "This, I want to put on, Family Guy. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
boring."
or King of the Hill or
Like,
something.
yeah, something, anything. Yeah, Tony had a
this is.
he said he was battered. I mean, our son kicked us out of his apartment because he didn't want to hear us yelling anymore. But
I
that's
have never
beside the point.
after a game.
I
I've recovered, but it's that was tough.
Um,
I took that loss worse than the Texas loss. I think I really did
he
because
did.
I'm going to tell you all that rivalry.
hmm
It's not there what it used to be, and this is why, because the players are not there.
Yeah,
We're talking about the portal. These
right.
players are moving schools. When you back in the day when you had players that were at A&M for 4 or 5 years, where you play Texas every single year, yes, that's a rivalry.
Right.
Now maybe it'll come back, but I just don't think so because it's you start throwing the dollar signs out there and you say, okay, well this isn't working. I'm going to hit the portal and I'm out. Who cares about a rivalry?
Well, he may go to your rival school and play.
Exactly. The only
Right.
people that care
Yeah.
about rivalries is us battered eggs,
Yeah, yeah.
from who used to appreciate the rivalry. But it's now after the playoff game, I'm glad that happened because that will help me with the rivalry game going forward. Because what does it matter if I just want to make the playoffs? If we make the playoffs, then you can just keep progressing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's
I
it,
still don't want OU to lose to Texas,
no,
though.
we don't
Yeah.
either. Deep down, I mean, we don't want to lose either, but it.
But it doesn't matter to the players, it does to us, right?
Right.
Like it's
Exactly.
No.
not the
Yeah.
same. After the Texas game, I watched the post game interview, and the players just they were really bummed out, but it was like it was because they really like to win. It was like,
Yeah.
man, it's way more fun to win. And they didn't say this, but that was the feeling I got. It wasn't like that, like, rivalries are rivalries. Like, it's like, oh, like you just have like a gut-wrenching hate. And I'm not saying that's positive. You don't want to hate people,
Yeah.
Bruce.
Well, I mean, so
No, you don't.
take for instance your brother, Swami or
Yeah,
Shardy, whoever we want to prefer to.
swampy, swampy.
So he has moved all of his. Apparently, he has moved all of his A&M shirts to the back of his closet where he can't even see them anymore,
Mm.
He don't
and
want to
moved
look at
his
them.
wife's. I think he moved his wife's Texas shirts to his side of the closet. That's first in line. I think so.
He's
That's how
twice her
battered.
size, so that doesn't
That's
make
how battered.
sense.
That's how battered he is. Yeah, he's got her little hats hanging over there and the little, polo
Yeah.
Texas shirts, and he. I think he tried to put one on the other day, actually.
Okay.
My closet is all OU and Belleville stuff. And I almost wore my 2008 Big 12 championship shirt to this thing because those were good times in
That
2008,
was good
But
times, yeah.
it's like a long time ago though. But yeah, and my wife just tolerates it though. I've got my little spot, and that's where they all are.
You definitely have your fair amount of Belleville shirts
I
in
do.
there. And
Yeah,
I feel like I need you to understand that you don't have that much power. Like if you don't wear that certain shirt that has a hole in it, and
yeah.
yeah, like it doesn't matter if you wear that or not.
I changed shirts 6 times at the Alabama game to try to get it right,
Yeah, it
and
didn't work.
I walked around the pool 300 steps during every time out. I came back in, stood by the wall. I stood on one leg. I did everything I could,
See,
and nothing worked. I finally watched the rest of the game without a shirt on. That didn't work either.
Oh, that definitely, if it was on camera, it definitely would not work. Bruce, if
Not a
you
good.
could pick besides the G5 people, and we haven't
Mhm.
talked about this, so don't get upset that I'm like springing this on you.
Okay.
But if you could pick two teams that could have slid into the playoffs, who would they be?
Well, I mean, I think Notre Dame's kind of the obvious one, right? I mean, I feel like they would have been in. Um, hmm. Couldn't be Texas. They had too many losses.
Yeah,
Um, I'll have to think about that one for a second.
yeah.
You know, wow,
I'm sorry, I should have asked you that earlier, but it just came
yeah,
upon me in the middle of the.
yeah. I mean, gosh,
Well,
yeah,
I would say I would like Vanderbilt, right? Because Pavia wanted Trump to
and his mom,
intercede. What did you say?
and his mom, yeah,
Yes, and his mom. His mom really thought so.
yeah,
Yeah.
she did. Yeah, I mean, Vanderbilt would be a good choice. I mean,
BYU?
yeah, but again, you're looking at somebody. I really think you're basically what we have is about 3 or 4 really good teams, and then you got a batch of teams that are better than this
Mid.
other batch, and
Yeah.
you got a whole
Yeah.
bunch of these other ones back here, and they're all pretty interchangeable at that one point. And
Do you think we should have left it at 4, or do you like the 12
I liked
team?
it better when sports writers and coaches voted for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. I've got this book I got in third grade, The True Story of Football, and this came out in the '60s, and they were talking about a potential playoff for college football, and I think it was I can't remember which coach it was. It might have been Paterno. He was pretty new in Penn State then, and he said he thought he was against it because he thought it would kill the bowl system. And it
Yeah.
pretty much has. I mean, we don't care about those bowls anymore
It
unless you
really
you know
has. Yeah.
and all that. But it's like the NIL stuff. I mean, colleges boosters have always paid players. I just liked it better when it was under the
yeah.
table. It just seemed cleaner that way than it does now. Um, it's all out there in the open and
Get the
everything.
cards off the
Yeah.
side.
I,
Here's a car for your mother. It's not for you. It's for your mom.
I just liked it better when you could accuse everybody. And now
Yeah.
it's just right out there and you see who's doing it. But yeah, having 4 teams, this would have been a great year for 4 teams. I think it would have been a
Yeah.
really good year for 4 teams.
Yeah. I hear people say like they need to expand it. And I'm like, no, no. Like, I don't want to expand it. Like, they just
No,
need to fix the rules. Like, I mean,
yeah,
it didn't make sense. Like, how could they? Anyway, Yeah,
Get the
having
get
two
the figure out a
G5s.
way to get the 12 best teams in, or eight, or however many you want to go with. Make sure you get the best ones in, and go from there. I
Even
mean,
then,
that's
so like they need to make watching decisions. Okay, so we've already seen Ole Miss play Tulane. You know,
yeah,
if Notre Dame got in and they played A&M, we've already seen that. Like, why do we
right.
want to watch the same games again? We already saw OU and Alabama. Why are we watching this again? Like, I just that was frustrating to me too. I just don't. I have no interest in rewatching games. Like, let's watch some different people play different
Yeah,
people. You know.
yeah,
Um.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's
And
becoming more like the NFL. So in
Tony,
a
what
lot
do
of
you
ways.
do? You have the two people that you would put in there besides the
Well,
G5s?
Bruce just mentioned about more and more like the NFL. I mean, Izzy, your dad said it years ago that unfortunately college football with the money is going to be like the NFL, and that's unfortunately that's where it is. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
We gotta adapt, and like the Bob Dylan song, times are changing. So
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about that song, Bruce?
Bob Dylan. Yeah, we can talk about Bob Dylan.
Bruce is
So
like,
you
"What? Did
remember?
you say Bob
Yeah, you
Dylan?"
remember last year at this time, you and Tony went and saw the movie,
Yeah,
and then my wife and I went and saw it right after y'all did, and now I think there's a Neil Diamond movie out, so my
there
wife kind of
is.
wants to go that one, so we may have to suck it up and go
It's
watch
been
that. But
out. The Neil Diamond movie has been
oh,
out.
it has.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one about it's about like a Neil Diamond, what is it called? Like a cover band.
Yeah, you know more than I do.
Yeah.
So the two teams that I mean, probably Notre Dame. I mean, I think that they were a good team. We got lucky and we beat them in South Bend.
Very lucky.
Um,
But
but
Robert said Notre Dame's not that good. Like when I said, "Well, we beat them."
I don't
What do
know.
you
I,
think
I
about
really
that?
I like their quarterback. I like their running back. I like their program. I think that they're a team that could compete again this year. Um, Much better than some other ones that are in there. And y'all are gonna Swami will appreciate this, but I think the way that Texas turned the corner at the end of the year, I think that they could have they could have gone further than we could have this year because they stepped it up.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
I will say that I did think Arch and Reed were the opposite. And I thought Reed started out great and Arch started out not. And they kind of like swapped places throughout the season. Now, Texas fans or fan who I talked to was like, no, Reed wasn't that great. He just played not great schools.
Hmm.
And Tony, you were there. Like I can see you're smiling and you have smoke coming out of your ears.
I mean, I agree with everything you said because you heard me the whole way home from College Station on Saturday. It's not
But
going to
you
work
just
next
said
year.
Notre Dame was amazing. You said they were a good team. Okay, who else would you have in
No,
besides Tulane and JMU? Who else would you have in there? You had Notre Dame and who else?
Texas.
You just said Texas?
Yeah, some way or another with that loss, I think that if we're talking about the better teams at the end of the season that should be in the playoffs, I think that
Okay.
they
You don't think Vanderbilt got better? Because they
no,
everyone they played, they got better. They beat the heck out of Tennessee.
Texas beat Vanderbilt.
I understand that, but Texas lost to Florida.
Tennessee
Florida.
wasn't. Tennessee struggled this year.
Texas.
Texas did lose to Florida.
I wonder
We
if
lost. We almost we lost. We very easily could have lost to South Carolina at home, and we lost to Miami because we couldn't score a touchdown. We could not score a touchdown.
Bruce was
That's a
talking and you
problem.
interrupted. You interrupted
no,
him.
no, 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 no. He was saying better things than I'm going to say. But I wonder, had Texas got in, would they have fired their defensive coordinator?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I I can't stand Muschamp. Like if that guy were homeless begging me for water, I wouldn't give it to him.
You think he's the coach in waiting again?
I do not like him, Bruce. I do not like him. Like I can't believe, it was like a dream the other night, and I dreamt about, I don't know how it happened, but I dreamt about Muschamp and thought, oh, and I looked it up and looked at his history, and I thought, oh, good, he's out of the, I don't have to see that guy. I guess he's retired. And then
Here he is.
literally minutes after, we got a text that said, look at how Texas is handling business over there. And I was like, are they kidding me?
Well, I thought their defense was really good.
I
That's
did
just
too. What was that about, Bruce? Why would they
I
fire
don't.
their defensive
You
coordinator
got
if
the insiders. I don't know. Ask Swami.
we should have asked Shardy about that?
He might really know.
He may. Let's call, we actually should have asked. I mean, we dabbled in it the other night with Robert, but we didn't get into it because I was so angry about the fact that we had a quarterback that Robert was saying is not going to work out no
It
matter
was
what
funny. Like
offensive coordinator.
we were sitting there talking about his performance, and then as we're talking on the TV, it comes up with the A&M game, and they were talking about Reed's his feet,
Yeah.
how he's
They
positioned.
paused it. Yeah, they paused it, and Robert goes, look here. Look at what we're seeing right here. It was brutal.
But like I said, we're
But
not. Unfortunately, we weren't talented with the athleticism that these guys are, and we're
Or the
not
knowledge
coaches.
of having to deal with calling plays. No
But
one has hired us as
we
coaches
just
yet.
get to sit there and buy $16 beers
yeah,
and pay these outrageous prices for tickets every year. But
yeah.
we'll continue to do that.
And Robert's right. There's a lot of quarterbacks with bad mechanics, and it makes you wonder how did they get to that level doing
Yes,
things wrong, right? I mean, do you just let it go? Well, he's winning. We're just going to let it go until something bad happens. And when something bad happens, it's too late to fix it.
right. I thought about that because there's people, like, let me just say, in corporate America, there's people who are like very high up, and you're looking at them and you're like, how did they get there? You know? And I feel like it's the same thing. Like they were just, like, let's just let it go. Let's just let it slide because everything's working out. Like
Yeah,
it's very disturbing. But also they're 18 and 19-year-olds. I feel like that
right.
has something to do with it too.
Some are a little older, but yes, they
Yep.
are
Well,
still.
Pavia's like 30, yeah. 30, yeah.
30. His mom's like
They are.
37.
Yeah, she's not that much older than him. Yeah.
Those guys are
Okay.
they're living life. You're right. They're 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 young. So
I
it's
want to talk about I taught when I was at a Christmas party this week. I met someone who said he has NIL all figured out. And he said he feels like you should, if you're going to enter the portal, if you take $1 from NIL and you get in the portal, then you can't play, or okay, if you take $1 from NIL, you can't be in the portal for a year. If you take, I don't know, like 250 plus, I don't know what his breakdown was, but it can change because it's not legal. He doesn't have it in place. This is just a person who lives in Belleville. But he was like, let's say 250, then you don't get to enter the portal till 2 years, and so on. Like it's like a tax bracket almost.
Well, NIL is kind of a different animal because that's name, image, likeness. So that's one thing. And then you've got the money that the colleges can actually divvy up. And that's the other thing, right? I mean, however many millions that was it 20 million, whatever the number was. And I think that's the one where you might have some teeth in and might be able to control a little bit more. Whereas the NIL, I'm not sure how much control you can have on that.
Because it's a brand.
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah.
that would be like battered and proud. When this thing, keeps getting bigger and bigger, y'all are gonna make so much money off of that, and you may decide to go into something else, ESPN, and they can't hold you back.
Yeah, so much money. I mean, we're already making so much money. So we told some people this week about our podcast when we're at Christmas parties, and they were like, how many followers do you have? And I'm like, so many. We have, I mean, like around, I'm gonna say around, and when I say around, I don't want to say what the diameter is, but we have
Double
around,
figure.
yeah, we have around 500,000 followers around that. So, but let's go to our sponsors. Thanks, Bruce, for leading us into that. Are you ready?
Of course.
Battered and Proud is sponsored by the Belleville Times. It's a newspaper. They print on actual paper in black and white. We did not win the lotto, so I was going to get you like a printer, Bruce. Like to print, you could, then you don't have a
Oh, a press?
deadline.
A printing press? You're gonna get me a press?
Yes. For your own
We got
paper,
a
you don't have
printer.
a deadline.
Yeah. Well, that would be nice. You know, we're 147 years old. We're gonna be turning 148 on January
That is
1st.
crazy. You don't look that
Yeah.
old at all,
I know. I
Bruce.
know. I'll get us to 150 and we'll see what happens at
He
that point.
doesn't. He looks like he's straight out of the Bible over here with this
Yeah. He's
hairdo
like
going on.
him and Moses are like old
Yeah.
pals.
Yeah, we're buds.
Yeah.
But Bruce,
We
Bruce,
played a lot of pinball together back in the 70s.
Bruce
He was
also
good.
is the official stat taker for the high school team, right?
Yeah.
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 So the Belleville Bramos. So he's we're lucky to have Bruce here in Belleville.
Very
It's
lucky.
fun.
And he's one of our sponsors. Big time money for the Battered and Proud group. And I got to bring this up. I got to read it every time, but Sugar Bin Center experience and compassionate therapy care you can trust. So I just went ahead and signed up for my therapy appointment as well. Because you have to take care of your mental health. And like, I need to talk to someone who tells me it's okay to be this upset about college football. You know, that's what I'm looking for. So if they tell me it's ridiculous, I'm gonna fire them.
Yeah, you can go to somebody else.
Yeah. And then who else, Tony? That's pretty much it. Our sponsors for this week. I think who is it? Willie something Meat Market in Schulenburg.
Goats.
They're on Christmas
Is that
break
the
with
Alex
Alex.
special? Where
That's the Alex.
do you get that?
Alex
But
special.
you don't ask for that, right?
No.
You do not ask for Alex special because they'll add to it. But Alex is we talked about his house for sale and
Yeah.
it's pending now. And so
Good.
we're trying to now the podcast is trying to get a commission for it because we think that
Yeah.
that's why it like sold so quick.
Yeah.
That's
You,
a lot of
your
history.
is it your hair's kind of blowing around like it was Saturday at the game there? It's going in and out a little bit.
My hair?
Kind of like yeah. I think
Okay.
it's your.
I don't what do you want me to do? It is what it is.
Oh, it's okay.
All right, let's talk about the games next week. We've got Alabama versus Indiana. Indiana is favored to win by 6.5.
Hmm.
What do you guys think about that?
I think Indiana wins. I don't think they win by 6.5.
Okay,
I kind of wonder has Indiana already played their best game?
that's what
You
I
know,
feel. I feel that way too.
okay, and I hate to say it, but I don't think Alabama's played their best game yet. But I do think Indiana's going to beat them.
Okay, but you don't think they'll be in by 6.5.
No, no,
Okay, I'm gonna put you down for Bama then.
yeah.
Okay, Tony, I'm going next. I'm gonna say Bama too. I really do. I think Indiana made that their championship, the
Mm.
Big Ten uh
Yeah, beating
championship,
Ohio
and
State.
I think they put a lot into that. And I think it's those bye weeks have really not been amazing for teams having bye weeks. Like they come back into it and they're just like laxed. I mean, you can see it. I thought this is great. Elko knows exactly what he's doing. He lost to Texas even though he knew it was going to hurt. He did it. It's a bummer. It's okay, but he knew he didn't want to go to the SEC championship because he wanted to rest. That literally went through my head.
And it saved fans money. That was good.
I just, I
Same me,
literally
man.
thought that and held the flag to it, right? Like I was, and I have like unicorns and rainbows flying around me too. So I don't think the bye weeks work for you.
Yeah. Anyway, I think Indiana's gonna. I think they're gonna cover. I think they're gonna be ready.
All right, Tony, we'll
Reason
talk
being,
about
because
that.
they're other than Georgia, and we ain't got to Georgia yet. They are the only team that I think has a chance that should be in the national championship game at
Well,
this point.
you
So
got to have
Indiana,
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have too, yeah. So yeah, no, I think Indiana covers. I think they'll take care of business. I think they'll be ready.
Okay, the next game is Oregon versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech is expected to, excuse me, I just had water come up. Texas Tech is supposed to lose by 2.5.
Hmm. Well, isn't it odd that here we are talk about Texas Tech and we talk about their defense more than their offense? You know, for all those years, Texas Tech was offense, 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 and now they're good defense. I think Oregon's just too good, though. I, I think Oregon wins. I think they cover, and I've got a lot of Texas Tech fans, and they can rejoice in the fact that I'm usually wrong on this stuff. But I think Oregon wins big.
Yeah,
Okay.
I, I'm gonna also unfortunately reverse my thought and agree with Bruce because now that I'm thinking about this, Tech has not. We hadn't got out of the Big 12 yet, right?
Right.
Okay, so I think Oregon's going to take care of business, and I don't think Tech's going to.
And they've been there before. They've been in these kind of
Yeah.
situations. Yeah. So
I don't, I think the Big Ten and the Big 12 are very similar, except for Ohio
Uh,
State.
I I don't know about that, but
You don't, I mean, we
Other than
disagree on a
OU,
lot.
yes, we do.
Okay, I'm just gonna go with
that's what
Texas
makes it
Tech.
work.
I'm gonna go with Texas Tech only because you guys both went with Oregon, but I'm gonna go with Texas Tech because I think defenses, they are a big part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what happened Saturday? Defense did amazing. We couldn't score a touchdown. Ball game.
I don't know. I'm just not impressed with Oregon. You know what? I think it's his coach. I think it's the coach. I just didn't like him from the get-go. And as soon as I didn't like him, I was moved on. And I think that's enough of a reason to say I don't
Yeah.
want Oregon to win and Texas Tech is going to win. Okay? I'm not even saying
Works.
winning. I think Texas Tech will cover 2.5. It's not a big deal. You all ready to move on?
Ready.
Okay. We've got here Ole Miss versus Georgia. Was someone
I just
screaming
heard
back
the
there?
scream for this one.
But Bucky's working on his dynasty in there.
Yeah.
He's building up his whatever he's
He's in
gaming in
there
there.
like playing his some kind of college football game and he comes in and tells me he's winning against Clemson and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Anyway, that's
Is
very
he on a
exciting.
e-sport scholarship by any chance? Or
I wish, Bruce.
yeah,
No, he's on a parent scholarship. Okay, we got Ole Miss versus Georgia. Georgia's favored to win 6.5.
Georgia.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Georgia's
Way too good.
Georgia's yeah, way too good.
I think so too. I hate that we're all picking Georgia.
It's
Alex picked
all
Ole Miss
like,
to play in the national championship, but
I
he did
saw
it.
that.
Yeah, he wanted it to happen because he thinks it'd be a good story, like
The
Rudy.
story's over. The story's over. I think.
It doesn't happen anymore. These Cinderella
No,
stories don't happen.
this one's not.
The good
yeah.
the good guy never wins anymore, you know?
Georgia will not. Yeah, that's automatic there.
Have y'all seen the amount of hair on Kirby Smart's arms?
No.
I have not.
It's a lot. It's a lot of
Okay, I'll have
hair
to
on
look
his
for that.
arms. Y'all check that out next time. Okay,
Huh?
But the
next.
most important thing about Georgia is Gunnar Stockton's truck. Was that the
Oh
truck you were
my
showing me?
gosh,
Yeah, that's
Bruce.
you got to
Did you
see.
see
Haven't
his
seen that.
truck?
No.
I mean, if just seeing the truck and knowing the quarterback drive the truck
Yeah.
like that, you have that team all the way. As
Hold
long as
on.
he's there.
Let me keep talking about it, Tony. Oh, here, yeah, it's already saved. Okay, it's a 1984 F-150 pickup.
84.
Yes, that's his
Okay.
truck.
Okay. Probably got some bug stuff on it and a goat ropers need love to sticker on the back, maybe.
It was his grandfather's, and there's like a picture of him with his grandfather, and he's in it in a car seat.
Really?
Yeah, it is like
So
absolutely
they had
adorable.
car seats in.
Well,
I
sort
didn't
of.
know. I really didn't. I don't think we put our kids in car seats in '84. Maybe we were supposed to.
Occasionally,
It was
we
a
had it.
car
It
seat,
was in the seat,
but
but
it
I mean they.
wasn't buckled.
We
Yeah,
we
it
just put
wasn't.
them up in the back end back there and told them to be quiet.
Yeah, it wasn't buckled in. They just set
Yeah,
it there. Yeah, it's
right.
fine. Yeah, Gunner,
Had a little
that
fake steering wheel on it that you kind of
you could pretend.
look. I'm like Dad.
Occasionally, we let
Okay.
them handle the real steering wheel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They actually, yeah, they just took him out of the car seat, put him in front of their lap. Okay, just like
You're in
Britney
my lap.
Spears.
What else could go wrong here?
Yeah, Britney Spears did that, and we're all chastising her now, you
Yeah.
know? Like she put her kids on her lap and drove with them. Same thing as Gunnar Stockton's grandfather. Okay, moving on. I can tell y'all
We'll get.
aren't Britney Spears followers. Miami versus Ohio State. Ohio State plus 9.5.
Where is that game at? Where is it going to be?
Jerry World.
The
Jerry
Cotton
World. Okay.
Bowl, Bruce,
Yeah,
thanks for mentioning that because I already had tickets. I already had a hotel room there.
you can still go.
No, I canceled it. Yeah, so it says Ohio is expected to win by 9.5. I said plus. I'm saying minus. I had to check
Um,
that. But I agree. I think it's right. I'm just gonna pick Miami because I think 9.5 is
I'm
a
a,
lot.
yeah, I think that's a lot too. I think that's a lot. I think I'm gonna go with Miami on that one too.
I'm going to go the other way. I think Miami was just happy to be there last week. You know, and they got
Hmm.
their win.
Sure.
Uh, that was their game. I think Ohio State's ticked off. From losing to Indiana. I think they've got something to prove, and I think they cover.
9.5 is a lot of points.
I don't think it's a problem for them.
Okay. I think you're right, Bruce. Like I think Ohio State, they did like we've seen that in the past. We don't even have to have that large of a memory where they lose and then they come back and like beat everyone and win the Natty, right?
Right.
But I think that I mean, their quarterback, he looks like he's 12 years old.
But you said Miami's quarterback was one of the worst you've ever seen,
He
basically, in the Allegheny.
is.
Yeah, so
But
And to be honest, Bruce, I haven't seen Sayan do much. You know what I
just
mean?
saying.
Like, I'm just
yeah,
saying. He,
Yeah,
the only reason I had him in my Heisman favorites is just because, I mean,
the name.
he did well. Yeah, I like the name. I like saying, I'm just saying it's going to be saying. But, um, I mean, it was so difficult to like judge Indiana and Ohio State because of the type of people they played, you know? And
Yeah,
it's same as Notre Dame. I mean,
yeah.
if you think about it, like when Robert said that to me, like how A&M played Notre Dame, it wasn't that great of a win.
Hmm.
I mean, I couldn't like disagree with them because they lost to Miami, and Miami and A&M, both of those teams looked like junk. So if Miami runs and runs often, then I think they'll be fine. I don't think it
I
matters
think
if the quarterback runs.
I think they'll get my or the player that cost us a game, Malachi Tony,
Hmm.
in the game in the mix, and I think yeah,
He just likes
I
his
don't think
name because it has Tony in it.
it does. Yeah, Tony. That's why I have the T hat on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a maroon block. I mean, white block tee, but Malachi Tony, he took care of business and ran a sweep around the outside and got in the end zone where we couldn't. So,
I told Bucky after that play, I said we let that happen because we needed to get the ball back
well,
pretty
that's
quick.
true. Yeah, we did need the ball back. So, but
Whatever.
anyway,
Anyway, that's over. That game is over.
I'm not
Okay.
sure Miami can run on them. We'll see.
You don't think
you're
Miami can run on them?
probably
I don't
right.
think
Yeah,
they can. We'll
They
see
had a
though.
pretty good
yeah,
defense. I mean, Ohio, so that will show us just how great that
Yeah,
Big Ten defense
it
is.
will. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we'll just all sit and wait, right?
For a while,
What do we have between now and then?
basketball.
Yeah. I'm just not interested. But the
Bowl
volleyball team
games named
won.
after towns. Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce, that was a really good call out on the Western Kentucky.
Kentucky, Southern Miss.
Yes, when they all got penalties, the entire
Yeah.
Western. So I have a inside person who knows he's like the FBI, but for calling calls. And he told me that he trains this group, the
Hmm.
mountain people, and that he was like, "Did y'all not realize that when you called penalties on all these people, that this one guy you called a penalty on before, and if you get two, then you got to eject them?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
he had already
was
had one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he had two, and they had did they eject him or not?
No, no, I think they forgot.
So that's what he was saying. Like, did you not realize? I could also talk about I'm not gonna do it because I'm not one to talk
Yeah,
crap
we're
about.
running short on time here
All
too.
right,
So,
Tony, well, no one asked you.
well, I've got to wrap some Christmas gifts yet.
Y'all haven't done that?
Some of it.
Okay.
It is actually Christmas Day for everyone
Oh,
who's
Boxing
watching.
Day is tomorrow.
That's
Boxing
right.
Day.
We have to get ready for Boxing Day as well.
Yeah,
And that's
Kat,
big.
can you tell us about Boxing Day just real quick? Just like explain that.
No,
Okay,
I cannot.
Kat,
I
Kat.
can. The only thing I can tell you about it is the Beatles released their movie Magical Mystery Tour on Boxing Day in England, and it didn't fly. You know,
So just basically
that
don't
was
do anything big on Boxing Day.
yeah, it just kind of took away from it. I think
Okay, yeah.
it has something to do with giving things to poor people. I don't know
That's
exactly
what
what.
Kat said. She said Boxing Day
Yeah,
was like for like when they gave the poor people off. I said Boxing Day for me is because you order all these things, they come in boxes, you got to flatten them.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's Boxing Day. We got to flatten all the boxes so we can t be undercover and go drop them in someone's recyclables.
Or you just sit around and watch, boxing matches.
Do y'all have
I
a recycling
always thought it was boxing matches, yeah.
Do we do what?
have a recycling deal at the Belleville
We do
Times?
recycle. We
Okay,
do.
but
But
y'all
do
don't
you have
have
a
like a
recycling bin at the
No,
Bubble
he just
Times?
comes by. They come by. The city comes by and picks up our whatever papers we recycle. All of our cardboard we take over to the Methodist church,
Oh,
and they
okay,
have.
good. That's what we do. We tape up, we put black tape on our license plate and we wear face masks, all black. We get out, we throw the boxes in the recyclable, and then we leave.
That's why there's all that tire rubber on the
Yeah.
pavement. Y'all get out of there so
we
fast.
put a little extra money in the offering plate,
Yeah.
here and
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, Bucky put $1 this past deal in the offering plate. We didn't put anything in there because we do like our regular offering, and the plate came by. Bucky was appalled that we didn't put anything in the plate, and so he got his wallet out and he put $1 in it. And
That was
I was
nice.
like, okay, $1, and he goes, well, I didn't want to. I don't. The only other thing I have is a $2 bill.
Sometimes when Elroy Kiki used to usher and with Jim Ojibwe, if they would pass the offering plate a couple times
Mm.
down the row if they didn't put money in.
You could
Yeah.
give more. I know what you have in there, and you need to
They were
go ahead
probably
and give
watching
more.
you.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and
I can
pass this one
picture
back
that.
down.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Bruce. This was a
Well,
super good time.
thanks for having me, and I'm sorry I delayed the startup because I didn't know how to do anything. So I
No,
appreciate y'all.
it's a technical difficulty. We had other ones. We had other technical difficulties in the past with every single if they're under the age of 25, they're usually okay. But you don't
Yeah.
seem like you fit that.
Well, I don't know what I've downloaded on my work computer
It's
or on my
fine.
phone, but it
It's fine. It's probably a gambling program, but it'll be fine,
it, it, it
Bruce.
it asked me a whole lot of questions if I would accept. I just kept saying yes because I was under the gun to get online
Did you
with.
put your credit card in as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did all that. Social security number.
He gave him his mother's maiden name.
Yeah, got all that.
It's fine.
Name of the first pet. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Tony, thanks for joining. I'm sorry that Swampy wasn't here so he could like talk to you and bring you
Oh
onto
man, we
the
could have
dark
gone
side.
on. Yeah, it would have. He could have possibly got close to converting me, but I don't think he could have, but
No,
anyway.
I mean you'd need to
Hey,
get rid of your ring.
yeah, I still got my ring on.
Yeah, you do.
That's good.
Gigamax.
Okay. Gigamags. Yeah, I
Can
just
I
want to
say
say yes,
one
Bruce.
more
Go
thing?
ahead. Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I just want to tell y'all, I started watching this on your very first episode, and I was driving back from a volleyball playoff game, in fact, and you had it on, and I was trying to watch it on my phone and drive at the same time at night, which is not a good idea. So I waited till I
No.
got home. And I just want to tell you, I do thoroughly enjoy watching it. It's been fun to see. I love the sibling banter that y'all do. It's been great, and so keep it up. I hope y'all continue it on through the non-football seasons.
You and the other 500,000-ish
Uh huh.
fans that we have like the podcast super a lot.
Yeah, we do.
Right. 500,000 is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know how to check like on YouTube, but I do like it.
Oh yeah, you have to subscribe and like it. We're also
Well, I
on
thought I did.
Spotify.
Okay. Well, I thought I did, but it keeps saying you want to like subscribe to this, and I keep resubscribe.
This is a problem. We could be at 501,000 and you're
Good.
not with one of them, Bruce. This is a
Yeah, I
problem.
know. I know. I need to retire.
All right, it's fine.
All right. We have to take our family some Christmas gifts.
Okay, Tony. God, you're such a Debbie Downer. All right. Well, thank you for listening, to Better
This
and
Christmas.
Proud. This is the Belleville edition. And thank as everyone for joining, and we're out.